Stay classy, Golden Eagles. Hey guys, I just wanted to go ahead and give you another video. This one's going to be math related. This one isn't a reading one. So you're going to need a couple of supplies for this. So why don't you go ahead, after I get done talking on this, pause the video and go get these two supplies, okay? You're going to need a piece of paper and a pencil, okay? So go ahead and hit pause and then come back and join me when you got those two materials and you're ready to go. So after you've got your two materials, I want you to go ahead and set up your problem just like I did. 5 2/5 minus 2 4/5. I'll leave that up here for just a second. So what we're going to do today, guys, is we are going to practice subtracting mixed numbers, but there's a difference between this setup as you've been practicing already. The difference is that we have a larger fraction here than we do here. So just like in normal non-fraction subtraction, we're gonna have to borrow. There's two different ways that you can do this, and I'm gonna show you both ways with the same problem, okay? So this first one is called the borrowing method, all right? So since 2/4, and I know on the previous video that they had shown you subtracting the whole numbers first. And remember, if you remember back to class, I don't really like it that way. So we're going to kind of get back to this setup where we're going to do the subtraction of the fractions first. Does that make sense? Because it'll come in a lot more handy right now. So after you have this setup right here, we're going to have to borrow from we're going to have to borrow from the 5 2/5 because 2/5 is smaller than 4/5, so we cannot subtract it. Okay, so imagine this being on top and this being underneath, just like a normal subtraction problem, and you've got to move over and borrow. So what we're going to have to do is we've got to borrow one whole from the 5 wholes, and then we add it in over here. The denominator stays the same. And in this situation, if you guys remember, one whole in this situation equals 5/5. So since we took one away from here and turned it to 4, we're adding in 5 in the numerator here, but we're leaving the denominator the same. So now we're going to add 5 plus 2, which equals 7. So we have changed our fraction of 5 2/5 into 4 7/5. So this is a part mixed number and improper fraction, but once we do the subtraction, it's going to be just fine. Now, since we have a larger number on top, a larger fraction on top than this other fraction, we can actually subtract. So I'm going to set up that problem, okay? So now we're going to subtract 7/5 minus 4/5. Remember, we never subtract denominators as long as they're the same number. And I know that's not the prettiest 5, but it'll work. Now that we can subtract we never subtract the denominators. We only ever subtract the numerators. So we can just leave the 5 and the denominator the same. And then we subtract 4 from 7, and we get, oh, I'm glad everyone said it out loud. That's right, 3. So we have 3/5 now is our subtraction after we had to borrow from this the first or the top part of our mixed number, okay? Now it's just a simple matter of subtracting our whole numbers, which what we have now, remember we changed it, it's not 5 anymore, it's 4. 4 minus 2, which gives us, as everybody already knows, 2. The whole numbers, remember? Because it was 4 from up here because we had to borrow, and then our 2 from this side, subtract it, and we get 2. So our answer now is all we have to do is combine our whole number, our whole number, and our fraction that we had. And so our answer of 5 2/5 minus 2 4/5 is going to be, and you guys got it right, 2 3/5. Make sure you circle the answer. All right, guys, the next video below I want you guys to go ahead and watch. It's going to be doing a different method called the renaming method. So go ahead and click the link below, follow along with me, and you'll see the other way that you can solve problems of subtraction when you don't exactly have, or when the bottom fraction is larger than the upper fraction. All right, see you in a minute. Stay classy, Golden Eagles.